There have been huge improvements with vibe coding recently. You can create complex sites and apps with deep functionality easier than ever, and you don't need to understand a single line of code. So right now, I'll build an app with multiple integrations, including Nano Banana Pro, LLMs, and Stripe for payments, plus an aesthetic UI. And what I'm building will replace tools I've paid subscriptions for in the past. This will also be just a general vibe coding tutorial with pro tips and best practices. I partnered with Emergent on this video because they've blown up recently. They're one of the fastest growing AI platforms, so that's what I'll be building with today. And I'll start with something I really like about Emergent that sets it apart. It uses agentic vibe coding. You'll see this in practice in just a second, but that's a multi-agent framework that handles all aspects of building the software. It catches a lot of issues early and debugs them before you even test the site yourself. So you can get a production-ready app insanely quickly just by chatting. I'll dive into the first prompt, and then everything else can be covered along the way. And I will be building this as a web version because that's what makes sense for this specific app. It also looks a little better in a demo, but it can also create mobile apps. For your initial prompt, the core structure should include your business goal, a clear, simple description of what you want to achieve, and the core features. Just list 3 to 5 essential features to start. So here's mine, and I already worked on this a bit. I knew what I wanted, so I brainstormed and wrote out all the ideas and structure. Then I just had ChatGPT format it. It added a couple things here and there too. Some I liked and kept, some I removed. But you can also brainstorm all of this in Emergent. If you want to do that, just say, chat with me and don't build right now. Otherwise, it'll jump straight into the build. And when you're done brainstorming, say, start building based on what we discussed. Now, I'll just read off the goal here. Build a production-ready web app called Creator Lab that streamlines YouTube ideation and creation workflows by organizing everything around a single core object, idea. The app should help creators quickly iterate on titles, thumbnails, hooks, and script quality while preserving history and versioning. And the rest of this just elaborates on all of that, like going over the core features, some explanations around design and UX requirements, authentication and payments, and the landing page. Even the specific prompt I want it to use when critiquing scripts, just things like that. But here's a few best practices I utilized here for initial prompts. So be explicit and specific. Emergent agents respond better to clear and concise instructions. Like for an example here, I explained exactly what should happen when you expand a title further. Allow users to explode from any title to generate a new column to the right, creating branching variations while retaining all previous columns. Provide context and motivation. Explain why features are important, not just what you want. Like down here in the script critique section, I said the goal is to give honest feedback while retaining the writer's voice and style. Also, use positive framing. Tell the agent what to do instead of what not to do. Like, I don't ask the agent not to do something a single time in this whole prompt. Like back in that same example, I asked to generate a new column to the right while retaining the previous columns. I did that instead of saying don't add the new titles to the bottom of the list, which is what I think it may have done if I didn't specify. But I used positive framing instead. Also add quality modifiers. Instead of create a nice UX, I explained to use Kanban-style columns, clear visual hierarchy, smooth transitions, and persistent history for easy backtracking. And finally, state your integration requirements up front. If you need payment processing, mention to integrate with Stripe in your initial goals. It will usually work after the fact, but something like that is pretty important to how the overall structure of the site will be set up. So it is much better to do from the beginning. And before I send this off, I'll mention a couple other things you can see here. So there's this GitHub option here. It can seamlessly connect to GitHub to collaborate and ship with advanced GitHub support. It's paired with fork mode for long projects to preserve context and maintain clean version history. Then under advanced controls, we have MCPs, which if you don't know, that's Model Context Protocol. That's a standardized way to connect AI applications to external systems. It's like a USB-C port, but for AI applications. I will send this as is, and the agent will get to work. And it's typically going to ask questions regarding planning and prioritization. So just guide the agent according to your specific use case. But the agent is smart. And again, you can't ask it to explain things you're confused about while you're building. In this case, it's asking what I want to use for the text generation, for like title exploder and hooks and script critique. So Claude Sonnet is going to be the best for that, which is B. Then for image generation, it says, you mentioned Nano Banana Pro. Should I use Gemini Nano Banana via Emergent LLM Key? So Emergent has universal LLM keys. This makes it much easier. It just gives you instant access to tools like OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, and a lot more. With no API setup, you don't have to go find and use your own key. I will say yes. Basically the same thing on number 3. Number 4 is about design preference. I gave some instructions. So for the finer details, I'll just say you choose. Then for the Stripe integration, we want to use a test key during the planning phase. That's it, just a few simple questions and send it off. I'll let this run for a little bit and come back when it's done. I am trying to add a lot of functionality right off the bat, so I am not expecting this all to work on the first try. Although I have had some pretty advanced things work right off the bat, I'm expecting some back and forth to get it functioning. Usually it's just 1 or 2 simple prompts explaining each error or change. The app is all done now. Before I test it out, I'll look back through what the agent did. It shows everything on the side here. And it goes through, figures out all the integration it needs, and then it called the design agent. You can open that up and see what it did. So I'll open up this first message, and basically this means it's confirming we have Tailwind with theming, animation, and a UI kit already, so it can build the UI on top of that. Then it ran a web search with Perplexity for the best dark mode dashboard designs for video creators. It got that back. Then it ran a few more web searches. These were basically collecting visual inspiration for different aspects of the design. Then this long one here creates a file for the full design system, locking in the look and feel before building, and this is the summary of what it chose at the bottom. I'll exit out of that, and after that, it creates the full plan, then systematically goes through creating all the different aspects it needs to, even choosing to modify its approach in a few places, even fixes a lazy loading issue, restarts the front end to check the status, and it loads up the app. Then it calls the testing sub-agent to perform comprehensive testing. I can open that up and see everything the testing agent does. It checks the files, plans it out, then runs a comprehensive test. It finds some issues, then fixes them. Once all the back-end tests are passing, it moves on to the front-end testing. Even creates a short little script to test the script critique feature. At the end, it creates a testing report to send to the main agent, which reads that, keeps going, and then finally gives me a summary of the MVP, like the features, the tech stack, even some suggested enhancements. So this all sounds great, and it's pretty amazing to look back and see all that happened just from a single prompt. But now I can test this out myself. Like I said, I'm expecting some minor issues here and there. I usually test the full site and just jot down notes of any changes I'll need. Just click preview, open that up in a new tab so I can see the whole thing. It's a nice, sleek design. Had that subtle animation there when I scroll down. And these are some of those little micro interactions I'd asked for. Simple pricing, can get started or upgrade to Pro. So I will start creating for free. There we go, it worked to sign in with Google, and I will create a new idea. It's actually a really weird way to pop that up, so I'm going to take a note of that and ask it to change it in a minute, but let's see what else we need. My video will be about a human chef versus a robot chef. I'll enter my seed title, just human chef versus robot chef. Explode, it has all my new titles. I like the interactions here where it changes the color. It feels really nice. Then it looks like I could click the plus button to add it as the working title or click to explode. I'll try that, but it didn't move on as the working title. This functionality is how I wanted it though. I think I clicked that too many times because it generated some more. This actually won't let me add one as the working title, so I need to fix that. We'll move on to the thumbnail editor. I'll click get ideas and see what the AI suggestions look like. Those are actually pretty solid ideas. I'll click this one, and it should pop into the prompt box. So I'll generate thumbnail. Now it says it was generated, and I can check my gallery, but that is not functioning at the moment, so I'll take a note of that. Hook generator, generate and see what it does. How about this one? What happens when a machine with 0 taste buds challenges a chef with 20 years experience? Click that, and it opens up with a full intro. Well, today we're about to find out because I've brought together Chef Martinez, who's been perfecting recipes since before smartphones existed, and this brand new AI cooking assistant that claims it can create better dishes than any human. We're putting them head to head in the ultimate culinary showdown, and trust me, the results are going to blow your mind. That is not bad. And since I don't have the full script, I'm going to copy that intro, go to script critique, paste it in, and see what it says. Points out that I didn't share a complete script, just an intro. Then it does give me some critiques here. So it looks like that is functioning well and probably would be very effective with the full script. I'll test that later. That was a lot of functionality from a single prompt. Like I mentioned, I did ask for a lot, so I wasn't expecting it to nail everything. But this is a really solid base to work from. I wrote down the changes I need, and they should all be very easy to fix. But just a couple quick tips on how to make changes. So first is to add features one by one. Don't overload it with multiple features, and complete each feature fully before moving on to the next. Just test each one out thoroughly before moving on. And prioritize the essential features first, then add complexity gradually. But off the bat, it got all of the design principles and UX features integrated really well. The hierarchy was perfect. It had all of those little animations, hover states, and micro interactions that I really wanted. So I'll go one by one and fix each of these features. And I'll just use a simple prompt for this. The pop-up to add a title idea doesn't feel native to the app. It had the Arc logo, which is the browser I'm using, and a long random URL. It should feel simple and native to the app. And there's no reason to go more than that all at once. I'll just send that, let it fix that one feature, and then move on. I'll give that a quick test. log in, then click new idea, and that looks perfect. So back to fix the next feature. So this prompt is going to change a couple things about the title exploder. It should have the title idea auto-filled from the previous step to reduce a little friction. The functionality of switching out the working title wasn't working. I felt like the ideas strayed too far from the original concept, and the sub-generations on a title should be variations, not brand new ideas. So I'll send that and see how much of it can get in one shot. There it is, I'll give it a try. I jumped in and did a quick test and it wasn't working, but I just realized it says I'm out of generations on the free plan. That could be the reason, so this is a good time to test out the Stripe integration. I'll just go ahead and try to sign up for a paid subscription. I can do this using a test number, not my actual card. Got that filled out, so I will click pay, and success. Welcome to Pro. So it looks like Stripe was integrated successfully. So now I'll go back and test out the title exploder. These titles do look better than the options from before. Perfect. Now that's the working title. Now I'll try for some variations. They pop up in a new column, and this time they all look like variations instead of brand new ideas. So that nailed it. It fixed all of that, so I'll be moving on to the thumbnail generator. I'll just double check the issues again really quick. New ideas still works. Load that and generate. Then there's still an issue with the gallery. It also doesn't have the option for reference images like I'd asked. So I just typed up a quick prompt asking for all of that. Honestly, this part, asking for these types of changes and just fixing things, is pretty straightforward. I just want to make sure you see every step. All right, I'm back in the editor, and it has the reference image options now, and it already has some images in the gallery. So it looks like it did actually incorporate Nano Banana before, but the gallery just wasn't working properly. But I'll get some ideas again so I can test out the reference image feature. I've got an image of my face, then just a quick change to the prompt to let it know to use my face as the human chef, and generate. Awesome, it looks like it did use it, but it's a couple things. First, it's not letting me click to view it larger. Also, I'm wondering if this is using Nano Banana instead of Nano Banana Pro. And the quality just doesn't seem there. So just a quick prompt to double check which model it's using. It made some changes, and something that can be helpful a lot of the time is actually reading what the agent says back. In this case, it says it updated the model from Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview, which was the official name for the original Nano Banana, to Gemini 3 Flash Image Preview, which is Nano Banana Pro. So the thumbnails should look much better now. And that's a general good practice, to read what the agent is saying. Like, pay attention to the agent's explanations and suggestions, engage in dialogue when the agent asks questions. It often provides valuable insights about implementation choices. Here's a few more best practices to remember as you're fixing features, debugging, and fixing errors. Never mix errors and features. And complete error resolution before requesting new features. Avoid interrupting the agent mid-process. So agents follow instructions very precisely. Interrupting them can create unfinished features, which causes problems down the road. And with debugging, have the agent test the application end-to-end first. But then when debugging yourself, just explicitly state what's working and what's not working. Share exact error messages and screenshots for better fixes. That speeds the process up a lot. I'll go test it out. I'll open up this one. It pops up into a nice preview and has the prompt and time it was created on the side, plus a download button. So that is awesome. Now I'll generate a new thumbnail to make sure it's using Nano Banana Pro this time. Awesome, there it is. That's a pretty solid thumbnail. I love that. So yeah, I think this is just perfect now. I'm going to make one more little change. I think it would be nice to be able to select one as the working thumbnail and have it pop up next to the working title up top. Then the hook generator and script critique were already working properly. So after that, I'll add a brand new feature. So here's what that looks like. I open up the thumbnail, set as working. Now it pops up top. That looks nice. Then when I go back to the idea gallery, it looks much nicer and more visual when they all have the working thumbnails attached. This is looking just awesome so far. So now, instead of fine-tuning the existing features, I'm going to add a brand new feature. This will be a content calendar. And I specified that each idea needs an upload date field. Then there will be a monthly calendar view where they all show up, and it will be dynamic with the ability to navigate forward and backward by month and immediately update on the calendar if you change the upload date. So I'll send that off and let the agent get to work. It's all done. Let's see how it did. I'll open up one of the ideas, and there is the upload date field. How about I upload this on Christmas? Now I'll go back, open up the calendar view, and there it is. Awesome. And it looks really nicely formatted in there already. Like, this is great. I'll add some dates to the others really quick. And now here they all are. Honestly, I think this was perfect on the first try. I can't think of anything I need to change. So now I want to walk through the whole platform from the beginning. So starting from scratch, I will log in. Create a new idea. This time I'll try a different example. So how about the topic of this video? I built a working SaaS with Emergent AI. And create. That pops me right into the title exploder with the seed title already pre-filled, so I can explode right away. Then I have a list of 10 new titles based on that. I let Emergent AI build my entire SaaS. You won't believe what happened. The SaaS I built with Emergent AI that everyone said was impossible. I mean, that sounds good. I'll get some variations on it. Now there's a whole new column with a list of different wordings based on the one I selected. So how about building the impossible SaaS with Emergent AI? I'll set that as the working title. Then I can move on to the thumbnail editor. I'll click Get Ideas. Now there's 3 options based on my title. Let's just try this top one. Then I need to upload a reference image of myself and just add to the prompt to use that as the person. And there it is. I can click to see it larger. Not bad. But I want to try out some other concepts. I'll test out both of the other prompts it gave. Actually, I went through and tested out the first 3 prompts, asked for some more ideas, generated each of those, and did that again. So I've got 10 thumbnail options to choose from now. I like this AI builds my SaaS option, so I'll set that as the working thumbnail. And there it is at the top now. So I can jump into the hook generator. I'll just click generate hook without any additional information, so it's only working from the title. You've been told AI can't build real SaaS products. I'm about to prove everyone wrong. All right, that first one is solid. So I'll click to expand that into an intro. All right, we've got the full intro now, and it looks good. So I want to move on to the script critique, but I don't have a full script written out for this concept. So just to be able to test this feature, I'll just ask Claude to turn that into the full script. All right, now I'll copy that, move on to the script critique, and paste it in. Then click Get Critique. Now, it's read through all of that and has a critique and feedback based on the prompt I asked it to use in the initial prompt. So it has some unclear and confusing sections. Down here, it says missing personal stakes and vulnerability. I mean, probably because Claude wrote it without any input from me. Then some actionable recommendations, like add a failure moment, show don't tell, specify your prompts so the viewer will see the actual prompts used, add real numbers. I guess Claude said it made $470, and then personal connection and competitive context. Those all sound like actual good recommendations. So it seems that this is working perfectly. So I will go ahead and add an upload date. Then go back and it is part of the idea gallery now, which looks great. All these little micro interactions and hover states are awesome. It helped a lot to specify that I wanted that in the initial prompt. Now I'll go and check out the calendar. So it has today's date highlighted, then my full video schedule, and it looks really good. I can move the months forward and backward. Then if I click the idea, it takes me right back in to continue working on it. And as a reminder, this also has Stripe integrated already. So it can accept payments with a system of limited free credits. Then when you run out, you have to upgrade for $9.99 a month. And that's already functioning perfectly. So this is just amazing. It really was that easy to create a fully functioning web app with multiple integrations, including LLMs for text generation and Nano Banana Pro for image generation. It could accept payments through Stripe, has a great looking UI with awesome little micro interactions and transitions all throughout. And this is an actually useful tool that I could easily add some additional features and integrations and fully replace software I've paid for in the past. Now, what can I do from here? So it's really easy to deploy. It's just one-click deployment with built-in domain management. You can connect your own domain or purchase one directly in Emergent. And this is built to handle real users and traffic from the start without any expensive rewrites. And there's no platform lock-in. You have complete control of your apps and data. You own what you build and how it evolves, so you can take it somewhere else if you want. Emergent is a super powerful platform. To get started, there will be a link in the description. This is just so much fun and still blows my mind every time I build something like this. No matter how many times I do it, it's just unbelievable how far we've come in vibe coding, where you can spin up something that would have needed months and a technical team not very long ago. And if you want to go much deeper into learning all aspects of AI, we have a full course platform at Futurepedia with over 1,000 lessons across over 30 AI courses. You'll find full learning paths on everything from ChatGPT to video generation to coding with AI and everything in between. It's all included in one subscription. You can get a 7-day free trial using the link in the description, or I left this one on best for viewer setting, so YouTube really thinks you'll like watching this video next.